hammer crashes down on cold iron, splitting it in two. A fracture line opens through the middle, and the piece is finished, useless, swept into a bucket with the rest of the scrap. Now, take that same bar and bury it in coals until it glows white, until it stops looking like metal and starts looking like light. Strike it with the exact same hammer, the exact same force. It doesn't crack. It moves. It lengthens. It takes an edge. Same iron. Same blow. The only difference is that one of them was already burning. And here is the part nobody tells you. When the fire is on you, when the marriage is ending, when the money runs out, when the diagnosis is read aloud in a room that suddenly has no air, it does not feel like preparation. It feels like punishment. It feels like something is being taken from you as a sentence for something you did. So you run. So you run. Everyone runs. And the running feels like wisdom, like self-preservation, like the only sane response to heat. But here's the question that should keep you awake tonight. What if the thing you're running from is not the disaster? What if the disaster already happened, and the fire is what came after, the only process that could take what's left of you and make it hold an edge? Understand what this means. It means that the worst period of your life might not be an interruption of your life. It might be the forge. It might be the only place where anything real about you is ever going to be decided. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you one idea, an idea 2,000 years old from men who lost their children, their fortunes, their freedom, their bodies, that separates the people the fire destroys from the people the fire finishes. It is not positive thinking. It is not gratitude. It is colder than that and more useful. But before any of it, you have to be able to answer one question honestly. And you will have to ask it again and again every time the heat rises. Is the fire shaping you or burning you? His name was Seneca. He was the richest man in Rome, and he wrote his hardest sentences while waiting for an emperor to decide whether he would live. He had watched exile, watched illness eat him from the inside, watched his own fortune become the reason men wanted him dead. And what he said was this: fire tests gold, and misfortune tests strong men. Read that again, slowly, because almost everyone reads it wrong. He is not saying the fire is good. He is not saying you should want it. He is saying something far stranger and far more brutal, that there was never any other instrument. That courage, patience, the specific weight a person acquires that makes other people trust them in a crisis, none of it can be installed in comfort. It has no other manufacturing process. The gold does not become gold in the fire. It becomes provable there. It becomes real in a way that a soft life keeps permanently theoretical. So the paradox breaks open. The fire is not the interruption of your life. The fire is the examination. And the only variable, the only one, is what the heat finds when it reaches you. Consider what happens to a body in space. After 6 months in orbit, an astronaut's skeleton has begun to disappear. 1 to 2% of bone mass per month, dissolving quietly, silently, without pain. Nothing attacked it. Nothing went wrong. Bone is metabolically expensive, and the body is ruthlessly economical. It builds only what it is asked to carry. Take away the weight, and it begins calmly to dismantle the structure it no longer needs. The astronaut floats, weightless, effortless, and is being disassembled the entire time. That is what a life without load actually does to a person. Not dramatic collapse, just a slow, invisible withdrawal of everything that was holding you up, until one day the ground returns and the legs underneath you are no longer the legs that left. Epictetus, who was born a slave and spent his life with a body that had been permanently damaged by another man, wrote this: "Difficulties are what show a person's character. Therefore, when a difficulty befalls you, remember that God, like a trainer of wrestlers, has matched you with a rough young man." Read that again, because it is not consolation. He is not saying your suffering has a hidden meaning. He is saying you have been paired. Someone stronger has been put across from you on the mat, not to injure you, but because that is the only thing that will ever teach your body what it can survive. The rough young man is not evidence that you are being punished. He is evidence that you are being trained. And the difference between those two readings is not philosophy. It is the entire outcome of your life. Because the mat is the same. The weight is the same. The heat is the same. Only you decide what it is doing. Is the fire shaping you or burning you? But here a second question arrives, and it is sharper than the first. If the fire is shaping you, why does it feel exactly like being destroyed? Why can't you tell from the inside which one is happening? The answer is uncomfortable because the sensation is identical. The nerve does not distinguish. Iron being ruined and iron being forged glow the same color, scream the same way against the hammer. There is no signal in the pain itself. Seneca knew this and refused to soften it. Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men. Notice what he does not promise. He does not say the fire is gentle with gold. He does not say gold enjoys it. He says only that the fire is the instrument by which the thing finds out what it actually is. And the blacksmith knows something else. Heat alone does not make a blade. Iron left in a fire without the hammer just goes soft and slumps, useless, formless, obedient to nothing. Iron struck without heat shatters into pieces. It takes both, in the right order, held by someone with an intention. Then comes the part nobody romanticizes, the quench. The blade, at its most brilliant, is plunged into cold water. It shrieks. Everything the fire gave it is violently locked in a place, and if the smith has done it wrong, this is precisely where it cracks. That is what people mean when they say a hard year broke them. Not the heat. The quench. The moment it ended and they had to go on living inside the shape it left. So the difference is not in the intensity. It is in whether anything is being aimed at, whether there is a hand on the hammer, and whether that hand is yours. The metal cannot ask. You can. Is the fire shaping you or burning you? You already know which fire you're in. That's the part nobody says out loud. The job that is quietly grinding you down. The marriage that has gone silent. The body that stopped cooperating. The year you spent applying for things that never wrote back. You're already hot. The only open question is whether anyone is holding the hammer. So here's what the smith does that you don't. He knows what he is making before he lights the coal. Not vaguely, specifically. A blade of this length, this weight, this edge. Every strike is measured against that. And you have been heated for months, sometimes years, with no shape in mind. Which means the heat has nowhere to go. It just sits in you and softens things. Tonight, before you sleep, do this. Take the hardest thing in your life right now. The actual one, not the acceptable one you tell people. And write one sentence. What is this making me capable of that comfort never would? Not a silver lining. not gratitude. A capability. Patience under contempt. The ability to sit with someone in grief without flinching because you've been there. The nerve to say no. Write it down. Then, tomorrow, do one small thing that only that capability makes possible. 1. Answer the email you've been avoiding. Sit with the person nobody sits with. That is the hammer. It is small, and it is unimpressive, and it is the entire difference between iron that becomes a blade and iron that just gets hot and cools again, unchanged, harder to work the next time. Is the fire shaping you or burning you? The blacksmith does not heat the iron to shape it. Sit with that. The fire shapes nothing. Fire has no form to give. A bar of iron left in the coals overnight comes out exactly the shape it went in, glowing, ruined, unchanged. The fire only does one thing. It makes the iron willing. It opens a window, and the window is short, and inside that window the metal will accept a form it would have shattered under an hour before. The hammer shapes. The fire only makes you shapeable. Which means the question you've been asking, the one I've been asking you for the last 10 minutes, was the wrong question the whole time. Is the fire shaping me or burning me? Neither. It was never doing either. It was asking you something and waiting, and the waiting doesn't last. That's the cruelty nobody warns you about, and it isn't that suffering hurts. It's that suffering is temporary and softness is temporary. And there is a season after the worst thing where you can be made into almost anything, and then it passes. The metal cools. Not back to what it was. Harder. More brittle. More itself, and less workable, and every future blow just chips. So the people who ran from the fire aren't the tragedy. The tragedy is the ones who stood in it, and endured it, and were proud of enduring it, who took the heat and never once picked up a hammer, and came out the far side glowing, intact, and exactly as unfinished as when they walked in. The blacksmith doesn't ask the iron whether it wants to be a blade. He asks only whether it's hot enough to become one. And the iron, if it could speak, would say what you say, "This is too much, this is unbearable, put me back," right up until the moment it isn't iron anymore. So the next time your life goes into the furnace, don't waste the heat asking why. Ask the only question that has ever mattered. Is the fire shaping you or burning you? The answer isn't in the flame. It never was. It's in whether your hand ever reaches for the hammer. If this found you at the right temperature, subscribe. New Stoic wisdom every day. Short texto natila. One cold iron shatters. Hot iron bends into a blade. To the Stoics never asked why me. They asked what now? 3 pain without meaning is damage. Pain with meaning is forging. Term and calm, full video on the channel plus #Stoicism.